So the ATX TV Festival was started, well, 6 years ago by a couple of young ladies that really had a passion for TV shows. There's some great programming on TV nowadays. Back in the 80s, you had what, maybe 2-3 good shows. You had Cheers, you had The Cosby Show. I was a big Knight Rider fan, so you might have enjoyed that. Nowadays, with streaming and every type of option that we have to watch TV, tons of great content out there. If I had Netflix or the internet like we have today when I was a kid, I would never get any homework done. My mom would have killed me. I feel like Thursday was probably the best day of the entire festival. Kicked off on the red carpet of the premiere of Snowfall, which is a new show created by John Singleton, who's also the creator of Boys in the Hood, one of the best street films ever back from the early 90s. Snowfall also takes place but in this case it takes place in the 80s. You know, John Singleton was exposed to a lot of that when he was a kid, and I feel like he's bringing that to light.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is Los Angeles is sunny California. It's beautiful. We wanted to make it beautiful but edgy at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a mixture, kind of like an anachronism in itself. The music is cool, the visuals are hot, but it's on the screen it's kind of dirty at different times.
I've always loved LA. Right. I came from the East Coast. I came from Florida originally, but I lived for a long time in New York. And the kind of the knee-jerk reaction to most people, oh, you're going to move out to LA? You know, they think that there's not much history there. Right. And the history of Los Angeles is very deep. And what Snowfall does, that I think it presents Los Angeles in a very intelligent way, in a very thorough way, and it gives screen time to communities in Los Angeles that in media before might not have gotten a chance to really show themselves in a very positive light, a true light, most importantly an authentic light. Right. So that's what I like about the show.
Friday night I attended a live taping of Talk Show, The Game Show, and it was all live. First time I'd ever seen this show. Wanda Sykes played the first guest, followed by Tate Donovan and some other dude. Really cool show. Had a blast, laughed almost the entire time.
Wednesday, 11 p.m. True TV. They make such nice stuff. Thank you very much for meeting.
Wanda Sykes is really sure to do all the... No, I'm good. I don't need to do any selfies. After that, I attended the premiere screening of the new series Loudermilk, starring Ron Livingston and directed by Peter Farrell. So Ron Livingston plays this super disgruntled guy. Apparently he's had a drinking problem in his past, and now his job is to help people through their drinking problems. And he's given the task to help this young lady, and because he has probably the worst attitude for any counselor or any person that should help someone.
Yeah, it definitely throws a rock in the pond, and you know, without giving too much away, something that was really interesting to me about the way you guys fleshed it out was that this guy who's supposedly so perceptive about people, you know what I mean, and it's like, somehow I know that this kid, you know, is off the wagon just because he's been quiet. I have a big blind spot when it comes to Will, because that's the guy. If that guy, you know, is off the wagon and not going to make it, it just puts me, like, what does that say about me?
Super huge fan of Ron Livingston. First time obviously seeing him was Office Space back in 1999. This show, you know, I think it highlights his real personality, but he just gets to be a little meaner on purpose. I don't want to give away the show. I'll probably do a review for the show at some other point. Later Saturday night, I attended the opening panel for Battlestar Galactica. Yes, that Battlestar Galactica from the early 2000s. So the man himself, Edward James Olmos, was there. I tell you, seeing Edward James Olmos in person, it was surreal. Also seeing some of the other characters of the show. To be honest, I didn't really watch the show when it was on. I know there's a ton of people out there that love the show, and they have a ton of fans. There were people wrapped around the entire building, just like any big mega premiere that would normally happen at some of these festivals.
You guys will never have to buy a meal or a drink or anything like that at Comic-Con ever again.
The Comic-Con thing is, I think life is moving fast, and the business is moving fast, and how easily and quickly we forget. I mean, we still think we have some clout to Comic-Con, but I've been there the last couple of years, and that ship sailed. There's so much noise and there's so much product out there. There's so much for people to focus on. I think that to the stalwarts, we still hold a place in the pantheon, but there's a lot of new and great product out there, and so I hope that that still resonates. But we don't hold the clout that I think we used to think we did.
You walk in and there is a respect that we will always get.
For sure.
But there are a lot of shows that are coming up that are really great.
The other thing that was going on in town was the Rot Rally. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of motorcycles all at one time going up the main street. So we had all of these people come from all over the state, and all you hear is rumbling all over the downtown area. Probably not the ideal place for someone with a scooter, because you'll probably get laughed at. But tons of Harley Davidsons, tons of custom built bikes. Sunday was the last day of the festival. I'm going to see Fear the Walking Dead. They were premiering one of the latest episodes, which ended up premiering later that night. I do watch the show whenever I can. It's usually one of the shows I do have to binge watch. But Kim Dickens was in the attendance. Alicia was in attendance, and of course Coleman Domingo. All terrific actors that help make that show what it is. Great thing I like about that show is that you never know who's really gonna die. They catch you by surprise. And this show doesn't disappoint. It's doing pretty much the same thing, but the show has a long way to go. It's only been on for 3 seasons. And then finally, I ended the entire festival weekend by going to watch the panel of Suits. So they did a table read of the entire first episode. The cool thing is they have fun with it. You know, they'll ad-lib a lot. It's almost like watching a comedy show of something that you already know happened. Anyway, that was my entire festival experience. I had a blast. I really like the way that this event is planned and operated. It's not as overwhelming as South by Southwest. Okay, you are gonna have to wait in a line here and there. You are gonna have to get some fast passes, but it's okay. Most of the time you're gonna be able to see almost everything you want as long as you plan ahead and you get in line on time. Like I said, I had a big monstrous weekend. If you didn't get to attend the ATX festival this year, put that on your schedule for next year.